Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something wild, what it would actually be like to survive a single day in ancient Rome. Spoiler alert, you probably wouldn't make it. Most people think they can handle it, like it's just a quirky history field trip. Nope. The second you wake up, you're hit with chaos, danger, and smells that can knock you out. So buckle up because we're about to walk through 24 hours in the Eternal City, and it's going to be a rough ride. Let's jump in. Waking up in chaos. Picture this. Dawn breaks over ancient Rome and the city comes alive like someone flipped a switch. Before you even open your eyes, you're slammed with noise. Thin walls do nothing to block the chaos outside. Vendors yelling about their wares, animals braying, carts rattling on cobblestone streets. Oh, and don't forget the chamber pots. Yeah, people are dumping their waste out of windows above and it's splattering on the streets below. That's your alarm clock now. No gentle phone chime, just the sound of human waste hitting the ground. Your sleeping situation? Let's just say it makes a cheap motel look like a five-star resort. Most Romans lived in these cramped apartment buildings called insulae. Think of them as ancient tenements, packing multiple families into tiny spaces. If you're lucky, or unlucky, depending on how you look at it, you're on a higher floor because it's cheaper. But those upper floors come with risks, like collapsing buildings or fires. Yeah, affordable housing in Rome meant cheap rent, high chance of death. These wooden buildings creak all night, swaying in the wind, and you're praying they don't come crashing down. Your bed? A wooden plank with a straw-stuffed sack for a mattress. It's crawling with bugs, bed bugs, fleas, you name it. Privacy? Forget it. You're sharing this tiny space with strangers who snore, toss, and turn inches from your face. It's like trying to sleep in the middle of a crowded subway car. Good luck getting any rest when the guy next to you sounds like a chainsaw. Getting ready for the day. All right, you've survived the night, barely. Now it's time to get ready, but don't expect a relaxing morning routine. Want to get clean? You're not hopping into a hot shower. Instead, you're rubbing olive oil all over your body and scraping it off with a curved metal tool called a strigil. It's like the world's worst spa day. The oil's supposed to pull dirt off your skin, but mostly you're just smearing grime around and smelling like a Caesar salad gone wrong. Bathroom situation? Oh, it's next level. Public toilets are where it's at. Long benches with holes where you sit shoulder to shoulder with strangers. No stalls, no privacy. And the cleaning method? Everyone shares a sponge on a stick. Yep, a communal sponge for personal hygiene. Imagine passing that around while chatting about the weather or last night's gladiator fight. It's bonding, but in the worst way possible. Need water? You're trekking to a public fountain because running water in homes is a luxury for the elite. The streets you're navigating are a nightmare, covered in animal droppings, rotting food, and garbage tossed wherever people feel like it. Walking through Rome is like playing a high-stakes game of hopscotch through a landfill. One wrong step, and you're ankle-deep in something you don't want to identify. Your wardrobe isn't helping either. You got one or two tunics, and they're not exactly fresh. Laundry day happens maybe once a year, so you're rocking that same sweaty, stained tunic day after day. Getting dressed less about style, more about covering enough skin to avoid public shame. Morning prep in Rome takes serious mental and physical toughness because every basic task feels like a survival challenge. Breakfast, a test of endurance. By now, your stomach's growling and you're ready for breakfast. Don't get your hopes up. Roman breakfasts make a gas station hot dog look gourmet. You're looking at stale bread, maybe some questionable olives, a cheese that's been aging longer than the Roman Republic. If you're feeling fancy, you might get porridge that's thick enough to double as cement. Variety? Not a thing. Half the time your food's already spoiled and the bread's got weevils in it. Romans act like those bugs are just extra protein, but every crunchy bite is a reminder you're not eating for enjoyment. You're eating to survive. You head to the marketplace to grab food, and it's absolute chaos. It's barely sunrise and vendors are already screaming about their goods while animals bray droppings everywhere. No refrigeration means you got to develop a sixth sense for what's fresh and what's about to make you regret breakfast. The rule of thumb, if it doesn't smell completely rotten, it's probably fine. Flies are swarming, rats are darting between stalls, and the whole place feels like a buffet for pests. Meat's a rare treat, way too expensive for most people. Fish is more common, but it comes with garum, a sauce made from fermented fish intestines. Imagine the worst smell you've ever encountered, then picture pouring it on your food like it's ketchup. Romans loved this stuff, splashing it on everything. Every meal is an attack on your senses, and you're just trying to choke it down without gagging. Cooking's no picnic either. You're preparing food over an open flame, which is a fire hazard waiting to happen. Water safety? A total gamble. Romans mix wine with their water to make it safer, so everyone's basically sipping low-grade alcohol all day, kids included. It's like ancient Rome was one big, questionable happy hour. Salt is so valuable it's practically currency. Soldiers even get paid in it. Every bite you take is a roll of the dice because unwashed hands and sketchy storage mean food poisoning is always on the menu. Work, grinding through the day. With breakfast or whatever that was out the way, it's time to work. In ancient Rome, work starts at sunrise and doesn't let up until sunset. That's 14-hour days in the blazing Mediterranean sun. No sunscreen, no water breaks, no workers' comp. Romans built an empire on the backs of people who had no choice but to keep going, heat stroke or not. Construction workers haul massive stones up rickety wooden scaffolding held together with rope and hope. No hard hats, no safety harnesses. Falls are common, and getting crushed by a falling block is just part of the gig. Supervisors yell encouragement that sounds a lot like threats, and safety briefings are basically try not to die. Any questions? Good. Get to work. Market jobs are much better. You're surrounded by noise, vendors shouting, animals bleating, customers haggling. The air is thick with dust, smoke, and the smell of rotting food mixed with body odor. It's like trying to focus in the middle of a tornado filled with garbage. Your throat is hoarse by noon from yelling over the chaos, and you're dodging livestock and pickpockets at every turn. Farmers have it rough too. You're bent over in fields all day using tools that make a butter knife look high-tech. Your back's screaming, your hands are blistered, and you're sharing the field with bugs that have zero respect for personal space. It's like a gym workout from hell, except you're barefoot in animal waste and sharp rocks. Craftsmen aren't living a dream either. Blacksmiths work next to roaring forges, potters choke on clay dust, and leather workers deal with the stench of animal hides and toxic chemicals. Workshops are cramped, poorly ventilated, and filled with fumes that slowly poison you. Wages barely cover food and shelter, leaving nothing for extras. In Rome, you work to stay alive, not to get ahead. Every job comes with a side of exhaustion and a shortened life expectancy. Roman entertainment, blood and spectacle. After hours of back-breaking work, you're ready for a break, right? Well, in ancient Rome, entertainment isn't exactly a cozy movie night. It's more like stepping into an action film where the violence is real and the body count is higher than your Wi-Fi bill. The Romans loved their spectacles, and the Colosseum, holding over 50,000 screaming fans, was the heart of it. Imagine a packed stadium, except instead of cheering for touchdowns, the crowd's roaring for blood. The day starts with animal hunts. Exotic creatures like lions, tigers, or even elephants are brought in just to be slaughtered by professional hunters. These shows were so popular they drove entire species to extinction. Romans were basically the ancient world's worst zookeepers, turning wildlife into public kill fests. You're sitting there, surrounded by the stench of sweat and animal waste, while vendors hawk snacks and betting pools take wagers on which animal dies first. It's like a twisted tailgate party. Then come the public executions, because apparently animal massacres weren't enough. Criminals face crucifixion, burning, or being torn apart by wild beasts, all while the crowd munches on bread and olives like it's a picnic. Families show up with packed lunches to watch people die horribly. It's reality TV, except the reality is actual death, and the audience loves every second of it. The noise is deafening, thousands of people cheering, jeering, and shouting for more. Gladiator fights are the main event, and they're not the fair matches you might imagine. Romans knew fair fights were boring, so they'd pit a net-wielding fighter against a guy with a sword or a heavily armored gladiator against someone practically naked with a spear. It's like a deadly game of rock, paper, scissors with blood and guts as the prize. The crowd gets to play judge, giving thumbs up or thumbs down to decide who lives or dies. Imagine a talent show where the loser doesn't just go home, they don't make it out alive. The emperor or event sponsor usually follows the crowd's vibe to avoid riots, because nothing says bad day than 50,000 angry Romans. The arena smells like a mix of blood, sweat, animal droppings, and whatever the guy next to you had for lunch. is less like a sporting event and more like a violent open-air restaurant where human suffering is the main course. Politicians use these games to win favor because nothing says vote for me than free tickets to watch creative ways to die. As the crowd disperses and workers hose blood off the arena floor, you're reeling, trying to process the carnage you just witnessed. But there's no time to recover. Your body's already feeling the toll, and getting sick in Rome is a whole new nightmare. Roman medicine, a gamble with your life. If the day's chaos has you feeling under the weather, brace yourself. Roman medicine is less about healing and more about rolling the dice with your life. Their whole medical system is based on the four humors theory, where illness supposedly comes from an imbalance of blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. It's like trying to fix a broken phone by shaking it and hoping for the best. There are no medical schools, so doctors learn through apprenticeships, guesswork, or just